Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the two refillable 1-pound propane tanks that's on the market right now. You have the original one that came out probably 8-10 years ago, which is the Flame King refillable, and then you got the fuel keg from Mr. Heater. It's been out for a year or two now, but I want to go through, show you the difference between the two and which one I think is the best. I'll address the issues, the pros and the cons of both. So to be completely transparent, I bought both of these with my own money. I have been using the Flame King for 2018. I actually have 6 of these and they work flawless, but I do have some complaints with this, with the Flame King, that the fuel keg does address. So let's just start from the very beginning. Here's both of the refill, and by just looking at it, they look the same, but you cannot interchange these, and I'll show you where the differences actually come in at. So if you actually turn that like this, here, let's put a screwdriver down here so we can see the difference. Everything, the stem, the diameter, everything's the same. What comes in different is this little 1/4-inch end. You see, this is the same diameter as the whole stem. And if we look at the Mr. Heater, you see how this steps back in a little bit. So that's one of the bigger differences. And then you also have a steel insert here where you have a plastic one here. And if you try to put the Flame King in a Mr. Heater, with this being wider, there's an O-ring that sits down that this seals against right here. There's an O-ring inside the tank, and if you try to jam this bigger diameter into the Mr. Heater, it'll actually damage the O-ring, so can't do that. So let's get into the tank differences. As you can see, there are different caps on it. Flame King, these work, they protect the threads. I didn't like they always seem to want to cross thread on me, so I ended up just getting a brass one, and all mine has brass on it now. The Mr. Heater actually has a plastic one. It's nothing to write home about, but it does protect the threads. The way you fill these up is you attach the nozzle. Let me show you how this works. Oh, let's look at the camera straight on. You see this little cutout right there? You got that O-ring that I was telling you about. And then you have this completely round until you get this half moon right here. That half moon is where that plastic piece slides into. So basically, so you put that on there, you line that plastic piece up with that half moon, and that plastic piece actually pushes on there, and it gives it like a relief. It lets the air come out here, and then your liquid propane will come out here. But as you can see, let me get this like this. I don't know how well you can see it. This is straight up and down. This is actually leaning. So with this being plastic, what can happen is it may not sit completely in this half moon. It'll actually, you can put this anywhere. It just forces it in there, and there's not a lot of, doesn't require a lot of force to bend that over. And as you can see, I've done that multiple times. The other thing that I don't that the Flame King has, in order to allow it to vent out the relief, it takes a set screw. So you have to have an Allen wrench. Put the Allen wrench in here. Let's see, right here. It comes with an Allen wrench. So basically, you'd put the Allen wrench in here. You'd hook up everything. You'd hook everything up. Turn your tank on. Push the button down, and then you'd open this up, and you wait for liquids to come out here. My complaint about ever since I bought this was this right here. You know, why do I have to have a special tool to just refill this? If I just have this, I just want to be able to fill it quickly. Which is where the Flame King took this design and improved it. So let me show you another thing. So this, you need a tool. This is actually a toolless. So you would just turn it like that. When you actually see propane coming out the hole there, you just close it. So let's look at the Mr. Heater. And like I already talked about, the improvement of the valve. I have read online that some people claims this is janky. I don't know. I've not used it yet, so I can't say one way or the other. But I know that this has addressed my issues that I've had in the past. Now, to be honest, this little set screw here, I have probably filled these tanks up 150 times each. I use them a lot. I use them in my torches, my lanterns, my Blackstone, all kinds of different grills. So I mean, these get used quite a bit. I've never had one fail on me yet. And that was one of my initial concerns when I bought this, was about it rounding off or stripping or something like that. So I don't know about the longevity of this, but I think it feels like it'd be okay. Another thing, well, let's just go through the anatomy of this one. So unlike the Flame King, this is actually, you actually have a metal insert, so it cannot flex around. And where that metal insert would actually go, it's the same setup. It's around with a half moon cutout. And then this, come on, light up there. This would actually go in there like this. So it does not allow, I mean, you have to put it in one way. It doesn't allow you to put it in different orientations. Another thing I wanted to note too is the Mr. Heater flange is a lot thicker than the Flame King. So that would also, you know, not allow you to put that. You won't be able to get that in there. Come on. It does not allow you to shove that in there with that piece. So basically, let's see. So this would go like this, drop down in there, seal up, come on. Yeah. Turn that up a little bit. As you can see, there's some pressure on that. So it's got a good relief valve in it. So once you get it all tight, have this tank attached to your tank. You go ahead and open that. Push down until you see liquid come out. Then you turn it 90 degrees. I always use gloves on this. I forgot probably to say that right at the very beginning. Because when you actually do crack this, it's going to shoot propane out, which can burn your hands. So make sure there's no open flames, all that other good stuff. But Another upgrade that I wanted to show you that the Mr. Heater actually did versus the Flame King. The Mr. Heater actually put a Schrader valve in there, where the Flame King has like a non-serviceable valve in there, where if this would ever start leaking, you would be able to put a Schrader insert tool in there and take that out and replace it. So it is serviceable, where if this would ever start leaking in here, it's not serviceable. But like I said, I've used these for many years. I've not had an issue with it. They are a solid tank. Now for the big question. I showed you the pros, showed you the difference. Which one would I buy? You know, right now, the Flame King, even though I have a lot of complaints with it, you know, because I have 6 of them, it's not worth my time to eliminate these, because they both have a 12-year service life, and I'm halfway into the service life. So right now I would say it's almost like a DeWalt versus Milwaukee. You know, if you started with Flame King, go ahead and continue to stay with Flame King. You've probably had good luck with it over the years, even though it has a couple drawbacks. You know, it's not as easy to use. You know, it's still a good, reliable bottle. If you're just starting out and you don't have anything set up right now, I would definitely look at the Mr. Heater Flame Keg. Because right now the Flame Keg, the Mr. Heater Flame Keg, is being sold in a lot more locations than the Flame King. Even Walmart's now carrying this, TSC is carrying this, Lowe's, I'm not sure about Home Depot, but Ace Hardware. You know, there's a lot of places that are carrying this setup, where Flame King is hit and miss. You know, Menards sells them, but I don't believe any of the other big box stores carries it, like the Walmarts and stuff like that. So if I was just starting out looking for something new, I would definitely buy the Mr. Heater with the upgraded features that it has. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. We do a little bit of everything from RV repair to tool repair to just a jack of all trade channel. So if you're looking for something like that, please consider subscribing.